Megan. Who would have thought that in 2023 we'd be talking about an Alexa doll turned Terminator? All jokes aside, this movie was surprisingly good. Don't believe me? Just ask Alexa. Actually, that might not be a good idea after watching this movie. Before we start, this is a spoiler free review, but I will reference the trailer slightly. Now, let's begin. I have to start off by saying that I actually didn't watch any trailers for this movie before seeing it. In fact, I didn't even know the movie was a thing until I saw some M3GAN dolls dancing on the field during the Chargers halftime show on New Year's. And while we're on the topic of M3GAN dancing, I have to say that the doll has some serious moves. Whenever she started dancing in the movie, I couldn't help but laugh. I can definitely see her dance becoming a TikTok trend. But it wasn't just M3GAN's dance moves that kept me watching. The movie was pretty entertaining. Everything starts when Katie's parents are killed during a bad car accident, and her aunt Gemma gains custody of her. Gemma is the head engineer at this big toy company, and she was responsible for creating the next big thing for kids. And along came M3GAN, or Model 3 Generative Android if you want to be formal. However, this isn't just another movie about an AI gone rogue, because that wouldn't be fun. M3GAN was executed in a way that felt familiar, yet unique and refreshing. She was the star of the movie, which should be obvious, but it wasn't just her that made the movie enjoyable. I enjoyed that the movie knew exactly what it wanted to be. It's more of a horror comedy like the Chucky franchise, but it doesn't try to mimic that formula. With that being said, I wouldn't say M3GAN is much of a scary horror movie. I found it more funny than it was scary, but this isn't necessarily a bad thing in this case, because the doll was plenty creepy and it kept me on the edge of my seat wondering what M3GAN was going to do in certain situations. In my opinion, the intentional humor that the movie portrayed was the best parts of the movie. M3GAN is so creepy and realistic looking, not to mention that this is a robot doll that's usually expressionless, that whenever she's doing things like trying to make Katie happy or making threats, it often comes off as creepy and humorous without being cringy. And the reason why M3GAN was such a star on the big screen wasn't just because of her looks, but because of the choreography and voice acting behind the doll. Jenna Davis, who voices M3GAN, did an incredible job. Her voice acting gave M3GAN a personality that rivals that of even Chucky. It felt realistic and had emotion at times. Amy Donald, who did the choreography and stunts for M3GAN, was excellent. And despite her only being 9 years old, she added a flair to the character that made her even more creepy. Not to mention those chilling dance moves. But they weren't the only ones who performed well, because the entire cast was great. I loved seeing the bond that unfolded between Gemma and her niece Katie by the end of the movie. And the dynamic between Katie and M3GAN was executed so well. It was a thrill to experience M3GAN's gradual transition into what she considered as being the better guardian. My only gripe with the movie is that there were a couple scenes that felt as if they were supposed to be more serious, but turned into a comedic scene. But these scenes didn't do much to affect my enjoyment of the movie. Overall, M3GAN was a great way to kick off 2023, especially when everyone considers January as being one of the dump months for cinema. The movie was thrilling, heartfelt at moments, and it utilized the horror and comedic aspects well. And while it paid homage to a few classic horror movies that came before it, it made sure to craft out its own identity. I really hope to see more of M3GAN in the future. Therefore, this gets my casually recommend rating. But I want to hear from you all. Have you watched M3GAN yet? Or are you planning on it? And if you have seen it, what are your thoughts on it? Do you think it's just a Chucky ripoff? Or do you think that M3GAN is the new top horror doll? No matter your thoughts, let's discuss it all in the comment section. But make sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, let's keep it casual.